you doing? I'm looking for Dr. Hayling. How you doing? My name is Guy Fortt, and we are inside the Fortress. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest by the name of Dr. Leslie A. Hayling, who is a dentist. But not only is he a dentist, I got a card from him, and he showed me this card, and on this card was a picture that he took from out of his plane that he flew. What's interesting about that is he is a Tuskegee Airmen. And I wanted to talk to Dr. Hayling just to ask a few personal questions to you, Dr. Hayling. And you know, everyone knows about Tuskegee Airmen, but they don't really know who the person is. So I'm here today to ask that question. Just give me a little bit of your background, of what you do, who you are, so forth and so on.
My father was an MD. A lot of people tell people that my father was a dentist because I'm a dentist. They thought I took after him.
Right.
My brother went to medical school, so he's an OBGYN. But my daddy delivered most of the kids around Trenton between 1925 and 1940.
Wow.
The reason I got into pilot training, there was a fellow by the name of Dr. Anthony in Princeton who was a good friend of my father's.
Okay, okay.
And Princeton's only like 10 miles from here. His son was getting ready to go to college, I think, when we were in grammar school. So one of the patients gave him a Lionel set.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a train. This was a cubicle, a metal like cylinder.
Right.
With a motor inside. It had a throttle and a joystick on a little silver platform, and it had a long aluminum wand with a hook on the end and a little orange airplane on the end.
Right.
Made out of canvas.
And so that was the thing that got you very interested in
this
flying.
Thing, you could turn it on and that thing would go around in a circle about 60 or 70 miles an hour, and then you could put the joystick, make it go up and do loops and all kind of things.
First and foremost, you're a pilot and also a dentist. You have two major different occupations. How did you do it? What motivated you to do that?
It was easy. After I used to go to Mercer Airport on Sundays with my daddy to watch the planes, and we got that toy that we played with and invited all the kids from the neighborhood over, and we'd take turns running that plane. We had a dining room with a bay window like this, and we put the plane right in the middle, and you could go around real fast, and we had more fun with that thing than any other toy we ever had.
Okay, okay.
So that was probably the reason I really wanted to fly.
Well, let me ask you this question. So the Tuskegee Airmen, I'm watching them on TV, I'm watching them on these movies, I'm having a good time, and I'm a proud young African American myself, and I'm saying to myself, wow, this is an incredible knowledge. What was it for you and the rest of the airmen, what was the disparity along with segregation? How did you guys feel knowing that you were just as good, if not better, than the other pilots that were administering the bombers along the way?
Well, in the first place, they didn't just go around and pick anybody. They took guys out of college usually. Number one, they were supposedly the smartest guys that they could find.
Okay.
In all the different black colleges, because they had the aviation training there, and some of them took aviation training. Others they just took because they had taken a lot of courses or they had finished college.
Just ask this, if there was one thing that you wanted to leave with your admirers of being a Tuskegee Airman, what is the one major focus that or statement that you would want to bring to the people to let them know about you?
I try to tell them that when you went to Tuskegee into Cadet Corps, you had to be under a whole lot of discipline. Not only did you have to learn all the dodo verses and take the hazing, which we call torture, or terrorizing, it made you learn how to put up with a whole lot of stuff that most of these kids nowadays wouldn't be able to put up with.
Correct.
After you went through that phase of Tuskegee in the Cadet Corps, you could come out and put up with almost anything.
Wow.
We knew there was segregation, and we would be segregated against in and out of the Army, but it didn't bother us that much. We wanted to fly.
Right.
And that's the reason I volunteered, because I knew if my number came up in another month or two, I would be thrown into any branch of service they picked for me instead of my choosing.
Until next time, I will see you inside the Fortress.